Hello, welcome to Healing Path Yoga. Today we're going to be focusing on the heart center. This is one of my favorite classes to teach. And of course, there's a lot of layers to our heart. In yoga, we have the heart chakra, anahata chakra. And so we connect to the heart center physically. We'll be just sensing what's going on here with all these challenges that we're under with COVID. Can I just simply bring some loving awareness and create some space in my heart center? And going a little bit deeper, can I begin to feel into some of that swirl of feelings and emotions that I might be experiencing at this time? And then if we wait and go lower or deeper, can we sense the larger, expansive spiritual heart that sees from a place of oneness and connectedness? Yoga is a practice of union. And in fact, the Yoga Sutras begin with the Sanskrit words yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. And what does that mean? My teacher, Nishala Joy Devi, translates it as yoga is the uniting of consciousness in our heart. So quite often we think of consciousness as related to our mind or our brain, and we think of this gray matter up here. But what if we sink down into our heart center and allow that sense of seeing from a larger, expansive, universal perspective? If we see through the eyes of love. So we're going to do some practices to feel and sense into our heart centers this morning. And for those of you on the video call, we'll be using lots of equipment today. So we'll be using a bolster, a cushion, some blocks, and a yoga strap. So you might just want to gather those up if you haven't gathered them yet. We are going to start with some energy clearing, some connecting to both our physical and our energetic body through some practices borrowed from Qigong. And what I love about some of these Eastern practices is that they don't separate the body and spirit and energy. It's all one. So we're going to start in a standing position today. So go ahead and come into standing position. I'm going to take you up here, reposition my camera. Make sure I'm not cutting my head off. That's a good metaphor, isn't it? All right, so just standing with your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. So we want just a nice easy stance there. And let's just take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just feel that sense of the soles of your feet softening into the ground. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. Breathe in that loving support. And then turn your palms open to face forward. And that, again, opens your shoulders, so it opens up your heart center. And we have a beautiful sunny day here in Lethbridge today. So imagine that beautiful sun above just shining right into your heart center, expanding to your shoulders, down through your arms, and holding two mini suns in your hands. And so we'll move into some yogic sun breaths just to begin. So as you inhale, reach your arms up and around, bring the palms together above your head, and then exhale, drawing that beautiful sunlight down right through the central channel of your body. And then again, inhale, that circle of light around you, feel that lovely stretch. You can look up if you like, and then exhale, drawing that back down. And just feel this beautiful circular movement. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, drawing down. So these deep breaths beginning to wake up our lungs, stretch through the rib cage, open our heart center. Just finding that lovely synchronicity of breath and movement. And again, inhaling up, exhaling down. Last time, inhaling up and exhaling in front of your heart center. And just having a sense of gratitude for this day. Breathe into that feeling. And then waking our hands up. We're going to start to rub the palms together and just feel that warmth, that friction, that sensation of our hands rubbing together, creating friction and new energy. And then just relax your hands down with your elbows bent and your palms. And then just feel into your sensation of your hands and that sense of aliveness and energy and heat. Feel your breath. Continue to sense your feet on the ground. And then very slowly, and you might take a few breaths to do this, inhale and just begin to take your hands up very slowly, almost like you're scooping up that energy all around you. And we're going to take a few breaths here to do that, sensing and feeling. And finally, it's over your head, and it's like you're holding this ball of energy and light, breathing. And then very slowly begin to bring that energy down through the crown of your head, down through your mind, down to your neck, down to your chest and your heart center, down through the lungs, the rib cage, down into the belly and the abdomen. You can soften your knees a little bit. And then just straighten your arms with your palms down. Feel that sense of grounding down through your legs and your feet. And then you're going to take your arms out to the side again. And just on your own timing, just slowly lifting the arms up. And if you want to, sometimes it helps to close your eyes and just let go of outer distractions and just really feel and sense the movement and the energy in your hands, in you, around you, all around. And again, that downward movement, drawing the light of the sun and the energy all through your body from the top of the head all the way down. Staying very present to your experience. And then right at the bottom, straightening your arms, pressing down, really feeling that strong sense of the steadiness of the earth beneath you. And then turning the palms up. And again, feeling that sense of lightness. Almost as if the hands and the arms are just kind of riding the energy. You're not the doer anymore. They're just kind of floating up. Hold that ball of light. And then slowly releasing down. This healing, cleansing energy. At the bottom, the arms straight, and you're pressing down through your hands, rooting down through the feet, feeling that solidness of the earth beneath you. And then turn your palms upwards, just holding at the base there. And just feel a sense like you're holding that ball of light and energy, feeling it in the depths of your belly and your being. And imagine that you are standing in front of a body of water. And for this next one, called Calming the Seas, you're going to take your feet a little wider apart, so a wider base here. And then turn your palms down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just take your hands out to the side as if you are calming the water. You're going to bend your knees a little bit deeper. And then as you inhale, turning those palms forwards. And then as you exhale, that sense of just calming the energy around you, calming the surface of the water. And then again, inhaling. These slow movements. Feel that flow of water and energy. Calm and smooth and grounded. And then again, just bringing your palms together. You might want to bring your feet a little closer together now and just stand with this energy you've been exploring. Feel the energy in your hands. Feel that sense of the earth beneath you, holding you, supporting you. Feel the energy of light and healing that you hold in your hands and in fact throughout your whole body. And breathe that energy from your belly right up into your heart center. And as you exhale, just softening a little bit. If you're a visual person, visualize it as light from the base of your spine all the way up into your heart center. As you exhale, again, that's softening. All right. So maybe starting to feel a little bit tingly as we tune into this alive energy, the spanda, as our yoga calls it. So we're going to take this energy into our restorative bound angle pose. So go ahead and set up your mat. You're going to set your bolster lengthwise, or again, if you don't have a bolster, just use like a normal pillow from a bed. You might want to have a little bit of extra support for your head. And starting by sitting in front of the bolster once you get it there, and having blocks to support our legs and our thighs for the inner thigh stretch and hip opening here. So bringing the soles of your feet together. And they don't have to be very close to your body, but just enough so that the knees can release out to the side, and your blocks or cushions or whatever you have to support your legs so they don't have to work too hard are supporting the outer hips there. All right, and then once you've got that, gently supporting yourself back over the bolster. Now, once you get halfway there, sometimes the lower back begins to complain. So when you can lean on your elbows, lift the bum and the pelvis, lengthen out. That usually releases the lower back a little bit. Let yourself go the rest, reach up, and make sure that your head is well supported, the head and the neck, the cervical spine. So what you want to avoid is having the chin way up with the neck hyperextended. So draw the chin down. Release your arms out to the side so the shoulders can release and let go. And arriving in this restorative posture with a deep cleansing breath. So inhaling deeply through your nose. Pause a moment, lungs full, ribcage expanded. And a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Just that sense of letting go. And take a few more cleansing breaths on your own and feel what is it in your body that needs that extra invitation to settle, to release, to unwind, to soften. And so I'll probably be in this pose, this restorative pose, for about 10 minutes. Remembering if at any time you feel any strain or pain in your body, to give yourself complete permission to come out and maybe just lie flat. For some of you, it might be too much to have your legs out to the side for that long. And if that's the case, then feel free to just plant your feet on the ground, maybe keep your knees bent, or extend your legs along the ground. So lots of different variations here to just be at ease and comfortable. And so making any final adjustments. And so restorative poses are poses of being, of just surrendering and letting go. So feel the weight of your head releasing through the back of the skull into the cushion that you're lying on. Be aware of any tension in your mouth, your jaw, around your eyes. Let your face relax and smooth out. And notice how your shoulders feel. This is a great release for the shoulders. So inhaling the breath. And as you exhale, invite the shoulders to just release down the sides of the bolster, your pillow. Make sure your elbows, your arms, your hands are resting. And so this pose is a supportive back bend. So we get a lovely opening through the rib cage, through the chest and the heart center, and even down into the belly. And so the shape of the pose supports an opening in our body and in our heart center. And completely let go of the weight of your pelvis. Soften through the buttocks, soften through the pelvic floor, soften through the thighs, all the way down through the knees, the lower legs, and even your feet. So simply feeling how you're completely supported in this pose. There's nothing that you have to do or make happen. Let your breath be your guide. Let your bones, your muscles, everything release. Surrender to gravity. Great pose to breathe in because we have this openness. So feel the breath in your belly. Feel the breath in your rib cage. And feel the breath in your heart center, in your chest. So just feel into the physical sensations of that breath in your chest. As you breathe in, the chest rises and expands. And as you breathe out, the chest releases. And notice what's here for you. Perhaps there is a feeling of tightness or constriction. And let go of judging that and just be curious about your experience here. Bring kind and loving attention to your heart center this morning. And trust that it will open to that kind and loving attention. And as you breathe into the heart center, maybe you'll become aware of the physical heart beating, the feeling of your heartbeat. Sometimes it's really subtle, sometimes it can be more noticeable. Definitely noticeable when we're anxious or worried about something, but can you tune into it and sending gratitude to your heart, this mighty organ that pumps blood all through our body. Be grateful. And as we continue to pay attention to the physical sensations of our heart center and the breath, we dip down a little bit deeper beneath the surface. We might become aware of feelings or emotions, sometimes acknowledged, sometimes unacknowledged in the busyness of our life. So just be with whatever is there. Maybe there's a feeling of happiness and joy on this spring day. Maybe there's a sense of worry. Maybe there's some sadness, some frustration, some anxiousness. Like Rumi's guest house, just opening to whatever feeling wants to be acknowledged. And maybe there's just a sense of peacefulness here and presence. Because as we learn to pay attention to our feelings and emotions in this relaxed state, we can take this practice into our daily life and be aware of all the myriad feelings and emotions that come up during the day. And beneath all these feelings and emotions, we find the spiritual heart, the part of us that sees from a place of oneness and wholeness. The Yoga Sutras tell us, united in the heart, consciousness is steadied, then we can abide in our true nature, which is joy. Shala Joy Devi goes on to say, when consciousness reunites and remains undisturbed, our true and divine nature is revealed as joy, or Ananda. And the expression of this joy is infinite love, which encompasses and then transforms everything it touches. Everywhere we look, we see the reflection of our own divine and joyful, loving nature. And so just take a few more moments just to sense into your heart center, wherever you might be, whether it's just the physical sensation, whether it's a feeling, whether you've dropped into that place of spacious, loving kindness. And trust that the heart will continue to open and reveal itself to us as we simply bring loving attention here. So we'll be coming back to our heart center throughout our practice, and also touching deeper in our Yoga Nidra practice. But to begin to release out of this pose, if you've still got your knees out to the side, please bring your knees up towards the ceiling, plant your feet firmly, feel that nice solid earth beneath your feet. And then just to release anything in the lower back, press your feet into the ground and lift the bum, the pelvis just a little bit. And then maybe release from side to side like doing a slow hula dance. And then finally releasing the pelvis back down. And then gently roll off your bolster onto your sides for a moment. So take your time in transitioning. So just take a moment and lie on your side. You want to keep your head supported either with your hand or that cushion. Breathe, sense, and feel into your experience exactly as it is. And when you feel ready, help yourself up to a seated position. And you'll want to have your strap ready. You might want to have a block or cushion handy. And maybe something to sit on, so a folded blanket or a low cushion. And we're going to start off in staff pose. So we're sitting with our legs straight in front of us. And so remember to sit towards the front edge of your blanket or cushion. Do that little release for your sits bones. And just take a moment here in staff pose and place your hands beside you, your fingers beside you for a little bit of support. And feel that sense of support from the ground beneath you. You want to extend energy from your hips out through your feet, so your feet are flexed with your toes pointing up. So there's some active energy in your legs. And as you root down into the earth through your sit bones, you feel that beautiful sense of lengthening up through your spine, through the crown of the head. Let's take a moment to feel that gentle sense of sitting tall, but without strain or trying too hard. We move into our half angle pose. So bend your right knee and release that knee out to the side. So if you have strain in your knee or your hip when you do this, that's where you want to use a block or a cushion, just so that you can, all the muscles in this leg can release here. You're still sitting up tall. Your left leg is extended and the left foot is flexed. And then taking your hand to your knee here, and just this gentle sense of twisting towards that left leg. So we're reorienting our hips so they're straight forward over the extended leg. And then, so a couple of different options here. You can use a tie if you like, and remember to wrap it around and just sit nice and tall and gently draw yourself forward. Or you can use your hands, just inhale and just releasing your hands forward. And my fingertips are resting on the ground. You can't quite see here. So we want to avoid that rounding of the back and the shoulders that actually collapses our heart center. So you want to think about lifting the sternum, so you get that lovely broadness through the collarbones. One of my yoga teachers used to always say, and shine your heart light forwards. So shine your heart light forwards. And you can either take your gaze beyond your foot or close your eyes and really internalize your experience. Breathing, noticing where the body is tight or resisting. So we're getting a nice stretch through the back of this left leg here. We're also getting some opening through the right inner thigh and hip. Keep the neck long. So you want to feel length through the back of the neck. Continue to stay soft in your face. So your eyes, your jaw. It always seems like there's lots to check in with our body. And so just, that kind, compassionate attitude we bring to our practice. Relax your shoulders. Smooth out the rough edges of your thoughts or the judging mind. And just enjoy your stretch. I'm going to hold for just a few more breaths here. Breathe that energy from your belly right up into your heart center and shine that heart light forward. On your next inhale, you're going to lift up and out of the pose. And then go ahead and extend the other leg again. Maybe do a little bit of a shake in your legs or a wiggle through your hips and shoulders. And then we'll get ready for the other side. So bend your left knee. Release the left knee out to the side. Remember, if you feel strain or especially pain in knee or hip, keep it supported there. Take this left hand to the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, there's that slight twisting of the upper body just towards the right leg here. Shoulders relaxed. And either using your tie or just doing it without, whatever works best for you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale as you just lengthen forward. And feel that sense of upliftment in the heart center, as if you had a thread attached, and just drawing it outwards. And you might not be able to go very far. You might feel like you're just sitting up tall, and that's absolutely fine. Let's maybe give the shoulders a little roll to release. Find your breath. And imagine a smiley face across your collarbones, that inner smile of your heart. Sensing and feeling with a sense of joy. Bringing the energy of happiness to every single cell in your body. Again, back the neck long, face soft. Eyes either focused beyond your foot or closing your eyes, directing awareness inwards to all of the subtle messages that your body is sending you. And on your next inhale, coming back to an upright position, release the tie to the side. And just before we're going to lie down in a minute and do our lying down hamstring and inner thigh stretch, but just take a moment, bend both knees, place your feet a little wider than mat width apart, and you can lean back on your hands. And then it's our windshield wiper pose through our knees and our legs. And, you know, any kind of twist is always great to do after we've done a yoga sequence or posture, because it usually brings our spine back to a neutral position. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just readjust my mat the other way. You can go ahead and lie down. Have your tie close to you, and also have a block or bolster close to you, because we're going to use it for a little support as we maybe move into our inner thigh stretch. So go ahead and lie down. Make sure. And maybe just take a moment to extend your legs along the ground as if you were lying in Shavasana, as well as the arms relaxed out to the side, shoulders rolled under. Just reorient yourself to this posture, this lying down posture. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale once more, feel the weight of your body releasing back to the ground. Feel the openness of the breath in the belly, in the rib cage, the lungs, the heart center. And just observe your experience right now, any sensations that might be arising. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up and over your head, point your toes, And as you exhale, bend and clasp your right knee in towards you. And we're going to hold there. Keep your feet relaxed for now. And then circle the knee so you feel a deep circling action in the hip socket. And you feel a nice massaging action through the back of the hip and the SI joint. And then just come back to center where you're just lightly clasping. Keep the feet relaxed for a moment. Let the belly swell in the belly. Let the belly swell with breath. And now adding a little bit more energy and activeness to this pose, you're going to flex your right foot as well as flex the left foot along the ground. So you're drawing this right knee in towards your chest, at the same time extending that left leg, extending out through the left foot. Try to stay as relaxed as possible. Feeling your breath. And now taking the tie around the bottom of your right foot and then extending it up towards the ceiling. So start with a gentler stretch if you need to back off. Remember, you can wrap the tie around your hands for a nice relaxed grip. Shoulders stay relaxed, head stays heavy. Now, if you find that this is just too intense for you, bend that left knee and place the left foot on the ground, and that usually takes a little of the intensity out of the stretch. So please be aware of what's best for you. I'm just taking time to breathe here. Think about rooting down through the back of the right hip as you lengthen up through the right foot. So you feel like your leg is being stretched in both directions. You feel that opening through the back of the leg, the hamstring, the calf. And you're waiting for those invitations to deepen. So as we hold in these postures with calm breathing, the body and the muscles will usually start to soften and release a little bit. And when we feel that, it's an invitation, maybe I could go a little bit deeper. So if you want to go a little bit deeper, inhaling the breath, and as you exhale, maybe drawing that leg a little closer towards you, just a micro millimeter, whatever that is. Continue to breathe and sense and soften. So we've had this lovely stretch for the back of our leg. Now we're going to take that stretch into the inner thigh and the inner inseam. Now, if you can, I can't quite reach, have your bolster or a block or something for support right against the side of that right hip here. You're going to take both ends of the tie in your right hand, loop it around, inhaling the breath, and as you exhale, invite that leg to release out to the side, and hopefully this bolster, whatever, is giving you a little bit of support through the outer thigh. You could also do this pose with your leg or foot resting on your couch or on a chair if you need some more support. The other way of easing off this stretch is to bend the opposite knee, release the knee out to the side, and you get that stretch through both sides here. So find a variation that works for you. Again, if you need to, if it's too intense, you can also bend and soften this right knee a little bit. So again, just feeling that sense of breath, smooth and easy. Imagine sending that breath and energy to the places where we're feeling tight, allowing the muscles and the joints to open. We have that fluidity to our physical body and to our breath. Try to keep the upper body as relaxed as possible, even though you're holding on with your strap, especially that right shoulder. Take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, bringing that leg back to center. We're going to bend the knee. Set your strap out to the side. We're going to take this into a nice twist just to release. So that your right arm is stretching out to the side. Your left hand is on the outside of your right knee. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just begin to draw that leg across. And you might do that a few times. Just feel that rocking side to side through your pelvis. Just easing into it, especially if you have strain in your lower back. And then finally, you might shift a little bit onto the outer side of that left hip as this right knee draws across. Keep this right foot resting on something, most likely that left leg. You can shift your left hand to the outer side of your hip or the knee. Keep this right shoulder relaxed and heavy. You can either keep your head straight and in line, or you can turn the head in the opposite direction towards the right shoulder and right hand. And sometimes when we switch positions, we might want to take a deeper cleansing breath just to find that release. So inhaling deeply, pausing a moment, and that long, slow exhale as you feel the body release and soften into whatever this pose looks like in your body. Feel a little bit more space and energy through this right side of the rib cage. The right lung has a little bit more space here. Sweeping your body with your awareness to notice those little places of perhaps more subtle holding that you can gently coax to release and let go. Now to release, bring your head back to center first, followed by your legs. Reposition your pelvis so that it feels balanced. And let's take a moment in our Shavasana just to stretch both legs out, let the feet fall out, arms stretched out, shoulders rolled under. Another cleansing breath. As you exhale, surrender the weight of your body back to the ground. Observe your experience. You will likely notice that The entire right side of your body feels more open and spacious. So all the stretching we did for the right hip, right leg also opens up through the right side of the torso as well. And on your next inhale, reaching both arms up over your head, point your toes. And as you exhale, bend and clasp your left knee in towards you. One thing I forgot to mention on the other side, if it's hard for you to clasp, you can also clasp behind the thigh, or you can use a doubled up strap just around the front of your shin here. So lots of creative ways of making these poses accessible to us. So you're going to just circle through the knee here, deeply into the left hip socket. And bring it back to center and let yourself just stay relaxed now. Both feet soft and relaxed. Feel the swell of your belly against your thigh. Bring up movement throughout the hips and the pelvis. And becoming a little bit more active by flexing the left foot as well as the right foot extended along the ground. And when you're ready, taking the tie around the bottom of your left foot, extending up towards the ceiling, wrapping the tie around your hands, finding just the right amount of stretch. And I encourage you to start with an easier stretch to begin with. So backing off, not going to your maximum. Shoulders are relaxed, head is heavy, face is soft. Remembering if the stretch feels too intense in this version, bend that right knee. And just finding what feels right for your body. And every day it's different. Breathing in. Feel the expansion in the belly and the rib cage up into the chest. Breathing out, sending that relaxing energy to your left leg, the hamstrings, the calves, anywhere else. Allowing the back of the left hip to heavily root back into the earth. Allowing the body to find its own rhythm, its own places of release. Let go of control. And just sense and feel into your body and your experience. Ready to take it into the inner thigh stretch. So if you haven't already, placing your bolster or your support on the left side of your body and hip. Taking both ends of the tie, wrap it around your left hand. Right arm can relax for now. Take a deep breath in and exhale as you just invite that left leg to fall out to the side, adjusting your prop if you need to. I'm close to a wall on my left side, so you can use the wall as a prop. I'm actually able to rest my foot on the side of the wall. So lots of creative options here. What you want to avoid is that feeling of the body rolling over onto the left side. So you might even keep your right hand on your right hip to stay balanced here. So the hips and pelvis remain in this really nice neutral position. And try to maintain a nice relaxed grip so you're not holding on for dear life in this pose. Oh, breathe it out. Smile. Let go of overthinking. And just find a version of the pose that feels good for you as you feel that release through the inseam and the inner thigh. And the breath continues to flow like that background music. It's always there. Sensing and feeling those little moments of release when the body finally says, oh yes, I can finally let go. And then gently bringing the leg back through center, bend and release the strap. Moving into our twist on this side, so left arm out to the side, right hand on the outside of your left knee. Take a deep breath as you exhale, drawing it across the body. And again, you can ease into it, just rocking a little bit side to side. Until you finally find your way into the pose, shift a little bit onto the side of the right hip or right leg. That right hand can just rest on the outer thigh or outer knee. Remember to rest the left foot. So all of these muscles in this left leg can release. Keep the head straight or turn it towards the left. Let yourself sense and breathe into any tight places here. Relax, release, soften. Keep the breath smooth. Be with yourself exactly as you are. Nothing to strain, nothing to achieve. Simply be in this moment, in your body. And then getting ready to come out of the pose. Remember to turn your head first and then drawing the leg back to center. And shift in your pelvis here. And this time, if you like, hugging both knees in towards you. Feels nice for the back. And you might shift side to side. You might create circles with your back and your knees, treating yourself to exactly what you need for your practice. And then when you're ready, we'll get ready for our Yoga Nidra practice. It's amazing how fast our time goes. We want to give ourselves time for a 30-minute practice here. So set yourself up for the practice of Yoga Nidra, either lying on your mat, on your back, or lying on your bed or couch or whatever is most comfortable for you. And yes, lots of props. You can have a bolster or pillow behind your knees, maybe a cushion or pillow to support your head. Cover yourself with a blanket to stay warm. So stretching your legs out along the ground. Give your feet lots of space, more than hip width apart. Arms stretched out to the sides, a comfortable distance from your body. Roll the shoulders under, keep that bubble of space and light in your heart center. Your head in line with your spine. Adjust your blanket. Place your eye pillow if you have one. All these ways of taking care of ourselves. And feel the shape of your body against the ground. And take a final cleansing breath. Breathe in all that new air and light and prana. And as you exhale, feel the weight of your body surrendering back to the earth. Give yourself permission to completely relax and let go. And trust you are completely supported in this practice of Yoga Nidra. Supported by the earth, supported by your practice, supported by each other when we're practicing even online together, and supported by the great mystery that holds us all. Feel the flow of your breath. If you're experiencing any tension in your lower back, you might want to just do a little squeeze and release of the buttocks, lifting the pelvis a little bit and then setting it back down as you exhale, just to make sure you're nice and comfortable there. Feeling your body start to settle. We're not going to do a formal progressive relaxation, but if you're sensing there's a part of your body that hasn't quite released yet, go ahead and do your squeeze and release. So maybe it's something in your legs, maybe in an arm or a shoulder. The invitation is to first of all squeeze that area to feel that tension as you inhale, and then as you exhale, relax and soften. So this becomes your own practice, trusting in your own observation, your own inner knowing and wisdom. And so as we enter this practice today, I'm going to bring the vision of a lotus flower, the symbol of a lotus flower, into our practice. And Nishala Joy Devi describes it this way. And you might want to think of that lotus flower sitting in your heart center. The lotus flower has long been a symbol for the unfolding of our spiritual self. It is one of the most elegant symbols of the meshing of our human and divine nature. The lotus seed is planted and grows in muddy waters below the surface of the lake, far away from the light. And though the light is murky and unclear, the flower blossoms by drawing energy from within. As the bud passes through the muddy waters, it begins to lift its face to the sunlight and finally emerges. Miraculously, not a trace of soil remains on the flower. It lives in the mud, yet it is unaffected by it. And this is a reminder for us to be in the world, but not be adversely affected by it. The lotus flower teaches us that no matter how muddied the waters of our consciousness or our life may become, clarity comes and always emerges from our spirit if we allow the light to guide us, even if it is only one tiny lotus blossom at a time. And so this practice of Yoga Nidra invites our lotus blossom in our heart to bloom and blossom, to turn towards the light. And so taking a moment, usually we start with a sankalpa or creating our inner intention. Today I'm going to invite you to start with a question as you focus your awareness in your heart center. What does my lotus blossom in my heart need to bloom? Ask yourself, what does my lotus blossom heart need to bloom? And just plant that question there. It might emerge through this practice or emerge throughout days to come. And so as you continue to breathe and sense into your heart center, we're going to imagine that there's already light there in our heart center and that we can send this heart light and energy all through our body for health and healing. So inhaling from your heart center. And as you exhale, imagine sending that heart light energy all the way down through your legs and to your feet, allowing the feet to relax and be still. All the way down through your legs and now to your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet. And once more, inhaling from the heart center. Exhale, sending that loving heart energy to your knees, softening the space behind the knees, releasing. Inhaling from your heart center. Exhale all the way to your thighs, relaxing the large muscles of the thighs. And continuing for a few more breaths on your own time, inhaling from your heart center. Exhale, sending that relaxing, healing energy down through your legs and out through the bottom soles of your feet. Brushing away any remaining tension, discomfort, or strain. Feel your legs becoming heavy and relaxed. Still breathing from your heart center. Breathing in as you expand from your heart center to your shoulders. Exhale, sending that loving energy down your arms to your hands. Do that a few times. Feel your hands. Perhaps they too are like tiny lotus blossoms. Allow your fingers to be the petals. Your hands to open and receive the light of your own heart's knowing and inner light. Continuing that journey, breathing from your heart center. Exhale, sending that relaxing, healing energy to your forearms, your wrists, your hands. Inhaling from your heart center. Exhaling now to the elbows, softening the inner elbows, releasing. Inhaling from your heart center. Exhale now to the upper arms, releasing. And finally now to the shoulders, inhaling from the heart center. Exhale. Can you release whatever you might still be holding in your shoulders? Do that a few times because the shoulders tend to hold a lot. And just allow yourself to release any physical tension, release any burdens you might be carrying. And inhaling from your lotus heart. Exhale, relaxing shoulders, arms, hands. Feeling both arms, both hands relaxed and at ease. Resting. Bringing awareness now to the hips and the pelvis. Inhaling from your lotus heart. Exhale, sending that loving energy to release anything still stuck or held in your hips, in your pelvis. Softening the buttocks, softening the pelvic floor. Allowing that fluid energy to flow and go where it's needed. Moving up a little bit higher to your belly. Inhale, the belly expands. Exhale as you soften all of the abdominal layers, all of the abdominal organs. Inhaling from your heart center. Exhale, sending that healing energy to the abdomen. And now a little bit higher to the solar plexus area, the lower rib cage. Inhaling from your heart center. Exhale, relaxing healing energy to the solar plexus. Healing energy to the lungs. Healing energy to all the organs encased in the rib cage. The liver, the pancreas, the stomach, the kidneys. And bring awareness now to the chest and the heart center. Inhaling As you exhale, send that heart energy to the organ of the heart itself. Thank it for all the hard work it does to keep your blood pumping, to keeping you alive. And feel the fullness of the breath throughout the upper body, moving in and through all of the inner organs, the fascia, the connective tissue, and the spaces in between. With awareness residing in your heart center, inhaling as you exhale, invite your back muscles to release. The lower back, and the mid back, the upper back, the space between your shoulder blades. And feeling back into the heart center. And imagine your neck as a clear pathway between the knowing of your brain or your mind, your gray matter, and the knowing of your heart center. You might even imagine inhaling from your heart center up to the center of your skull, and as you exhale, flowing back down into your heart center. Perhaps imagining it as fluid light, in touch with both the knowing of your heart and the knowing of your mind, your brain. On your next inhale, take that light all the way up into the center of the skull and then stay there. As you exhale, invite the weight of your head to settle through the back of the skull. Bring awareness now to the mouth and the jaw, inhaling the breath. Exhale as you relax the mouth, the jaw. Nothing in the tongue, nothing more to say as you listen to the wisdom of your lotus heart. Be aware of the touch of the breath in and out through the nostrils. Bring awareness to your eyes. Inhaling the breath. Exhale. Invite the eyes to relax back into the head. And behind your closed eyelids, invite the eyes to gaze downwards into your heart, away from the thinking brain. Feel your entire face soft and smooth. Bring awareness to your ears. And listen to the sounds around you. And imagine that you are listening from your heart center. Just that open receptiveness to the flow of sounds and life exactly as it is. And bring awareness to your lotus blossom heart. Feel and breathe into the physical heart, the heart center, the sensation of breath and space and time in your heart. feeling and sensing into any feelings or emotions that want to arise and be acknowledged and held and then let go. And then feeling and sensing into your deeper heart self, your spiritual heart. And perhaps as you breathe into this spiritual heart, there's a sense of expansion. Breathe in to breathe out, expanding beyond the boundaries of your skin and your body. And perhaps instead of the heart center being in you, you feel a sense of being held in the great heart that holds us all in loving mystery. Rest and relax wherever you are in your lotus blossom heart. Staying relaxed and still. listening from that inner heart space. And before you start to move, ask yourself silently one more time, what does the lotus in my heart need to fully blossom and bloom and move into the light? And take a moment and simply be open to whatever image, maybe a word, maybe just a feeling, a knowing. And trust if the answer doesn't come now, it will slowly reveal itself over time. And when you're ready, taking some deeper breaths and inviting some movement into your hands and your feet. Of course, you're in your own home. You're welcome to stay exactly where you are and savor more time in rest, Yoga Nidra. So taking time to move and to stretch. Remember to take time as you transition, maybe rolling over onto your side and resting there for a moment. When it feels right, bringing yourself up to a seated posture. And as you sit, taking time to feel and sense back into your heart center. Imagining the blooming of your lotus being. And the world desperately needs all of our lotus hearts together during these difficult times. And so feeling and sensing that beautiful openness in your heart, peacefulness, whatever you've touched, and sending that out to the world, into our communities with our chant, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be ever blessed with peace, joy, love, and light. And we'll repeat our chant 3 times, imagining it expanding out in ever widening circles. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. from my heart to yours. See my lotus blossom? Namaste.